A man does not suffer because of betrayal itself, he suffers because he refuses to see it for what it is. Pain does not come from the truth, it comes from our resistance to it. A weak man clings to illusion, convincing himself that things are as they once were, that the love he once knew is still intact. He ignores the signs, rationalizes the inconsistencies, and tells himself that if he just holds on a little longer, things will return to the way they were. But they won't. And the longer he delays acceptance, the deeper the wound will cut. The Stoics understood this well. A man who sees the world clearly, who does not deceive himself, is a man who cannot be broken. Not because he is emotionless, but because he does not let emotion dictate his perception of reality. He trains himself to remove wishful thinking, to strip away denial, to look at life exactly as it is. When he does this, betrayal does not destroy him, it reveals what was always there. The truth is not something to fear. It is something to stand on. Most men fail to recognize when they are being cheated on, not because the signs aren't there, but because they refuse to acknowledge them. A woman rarely betrays without warning. She signals it in her words, her behavior, her presence, or her absence. The problem is not that men are incapable of detecting deception, it is that they are unwilling to. They would rather cling to comfort than confront the discomfort of reality. They fear what it means to accept the truth, because they believe that if they lose her, they lose themselves. But a man's worth is not tied to the loyalty of another. A man's strength is not measured by how tightly he holds on to someone who has already let go. A man's dignity is not found in denial. His power lies in clarity, the ability to see what is, accept it without resistance, and move forward without hesitation. When a man learns to see the truth, he cannot be manipulated. He cannot be made a fool. He cannot be broken by betrayal, because he understands that betrayal is not a reflection of him, it is a reflection of her. This is not about anger. It is not about revenge. It is about seeing clearly, so that when the moment comes, when she utters the words that reveal her true intentions, you do not crumble. You do not beg. You do not try to convince her to stay. You look at her, and without a word, you know exactly what must be done. Because the man who sees clearly is the man who is in control. The 6 phrases that reveal the unspoken truth. Words are a mirror of the mind. A woman does not always confess her betrayal outright, but she does reveal it in the way she speaks, in the shifts in her tone, in the small evasions that slowly grow into silence. She may not admit what she has done, but she does not have to. A man who listens carefully, who understands human nature, can hear the truth long before it is spoken in full. A woman does not cheat in an instant. Infidelity is not an event, it is a process. It begins subtly, first in her thoughts, then in her emotions, then in her actions. And if you are paying attention, the first warning signs will come through the words she chooses. These phrases are not proof, but they are signals. A man who values his time, his self-respect, and his clarity does not dismiss them. He does not panic, nor does he accuse without cause. He simply observes, taking in the weight of what is being revealed. When a woman says, "So-and-so understands me so well," she is not just complimenting another man, she is drawing a comparison. She is framing him as something you are not, as something she is now seeking outside of you. Perhaps it started as friendship, as admiration, as harmless conversation. But no woman repeatedly emphasizes another man's understanding without reason. Whether she knows it or not, she is already emotionally leaning toward him. And if she has not crossed the line yet, she is at least contemplating what is on the other side. When she tells you, "Don't worry, I'm just going out with some friends, she is asking you to accept a statement without questioning it. But a man does not simply listen to words, he listens to context, to patterns, to changes in behavior. Was this always her routine, or is it new? Does she offer details freely, or does she avoid them? A man who is sure of his own value does not interrogate, nor does he act out of jealousy. He watches. He remembers. And when the truth emerges, as it always does, he will not be the one caught off guard. When she says, "I need more space for myself," she is already halfway out the door. Space is a natural request in a relationship, but when it appears suddenly, without cause, it often signals withdrawal. A woman does not create space unless she intends to fill it with something else. The fool will beg her to stay, promise to change, plead for another chance. But a man who understands his worth does not chase someone who is already walking away. He does not fear solitude. He does not fear loss. He gives her all the space she needs, so much space that she can no longer find her way back. When she casually states, "I'm working late tonight," she is offering an explanation before you even ask. This is how deception often begins, not with a lie, but with unnecessary justification. The question is not whether she is actually at work, the question is whether her habits, her body language, her demeanor have shifted. A man who has mastered himself does not monitor her every move, nor does he let paranoia control him. He simply sees what is in front of him and does not dismiss his own instincts for the sake of comfort. When she tells you, "I think we need some time apart," what she often means is that she is testing a life without you. This is not always about infidelity, it is about freedom, about exploring options without fully severing ties. The weak man waits, hoping she will return. He lingers in limbo, trapped in indecision, torturing himself with uncertainty. But a man of discipline does not wait to be chosen. The moment she expresses doubt, he grants her the full experience of absence. He does not hold the door open, he closes it behind her. And when she looks at you with sadness, with regret, and says, "You deserve someone better than me," understand what she is truly saying. She has already decided. She is preparing the way for an exit that does not make her the villain. This is guilt disguised as humility. And many men, in their desperation, will argue against it, will try to convince her that she is wrong, that they can fix things, that she is still the one. But a man who knows his own value does not debate his worth. If she says he deserves better, he proves her right by moving forward without hesitation. A man who is ruled by emotion will hear these words and react. He will become defensive, angry, desperate. But a man who has mastered his mind will hear them and simply accept. He does not argue with reality. He does not need confirmation to trust what he already knows. He does not waste time trying to hold on to someone who has already let go. He listens, he sees, and he makes his decision with the same quiet certainty that has made him unshakable. The Stoic response: how a man of strength handles the truth. A weak man crumbles under the weight of betrayal. He lets anger consume him, allows sadness to paralyze him, and clings to false hope, begging for an outcome that has already slipped through his fingers. But a man of strength, a man of discipline, does not break when faced with the truth. He does not let the actions of another dictate his emotions. He does not beg, he does not plead, and he does not lose himself in the chaos of someone else's choices. He remains still, clear-headed, and resolute. Because the truth, no matter how painful, is always a gift to the man who knows how to use it. The Stoic man does not see betrayal as an attack, he sees it as revelation. He understands that what has been exposed was always there, waiting beneath the surface. A woman's disloyalty is not something that happens to him, it is simply a fact that has come to light. And facts are neither good nor bad, they just are. The man who has trained himself to see life clearly does not react emotionally. He does not ask, "Why did this happen to me?" Instead, he asks, "What will I do now that I know?" Because knowing is power, and power is always in how you respond. A lesser man will try to negotiate, to salvage, to cling. He will demand explanations, argue for what was, and refuse to let go. But a man who has mastered himself does not negotiate with someone who has already made their choice. He does not try to change her mind, because a woman who has betrayed once is already gone in spirit, even if she remains in body. He does not hold on to ghosts. He does not make excuses for her, nor does he seek revenge. He simply lets go, without resentment, without drama, without a second thought. This is not to say he does not feel pain, he does. But he does not let pain consume him. He does not drown in self-pity or seek external validation to rebuild his ego. Instead, he takes that pain and channels it into something greater. He redirects his energy, focuses on his purpose, and sharpens his mind and body so that the loss does not weaken him but strengthens him. He recognizes that betrayal is not just an ending, it is an opportunity. It is a test of his ability to stand alone, to trust in himself, to become even more unshakable than he was before. A woman's disloyalty does not define a man. What defines him is how he chooses to move forward. Some men let betrayal turn them bitter. They let it harden them, close them off, make them resentful of all women. But the Stoic man understands that bitterness is just another form of weakness. He does not allow himself to be ruled by past wounds. He does not carry resentment like a burden, he leaves it behind. He walks forward, unshaken, knowing that a man who truly knows his worth does not suffer over those who could not see it. And so, when faced with betrayal, a man of discipline does not fight to hold on to what is already lost. He does not look back. He does not waste another moment trying to change what cannot be changed. He stands, he breathes, and he moves forward, because a man of strength always belongs to the future, never to the past. A man does not fall because of betrayal, he falls because he refuses to accept what has already happened. He clings to what is gone, fights against the inevitable, and in doing so, he suffers more than he ever needed to. But suffering is a choice. The moment a man stops resisting reality, he stops suffering. There is no honor in holding on to someone who has already let go. There is no dignity in begging for an explanation from someone who has already made their decision. A strong man does not fight against what he cannot change. He does not chase, he does not plead, he does not drown in what-ifs. He accepts. And in that acceptance, he finds his power. Betrayal is not just an ending, it is a mirror. It shows you who you are when everything crumbles. Will you let it destroy you, or will you let it forge you into something stronger? This is your test. Every man will face a moment where he is forced to stand alone. If you find yourself there, do not look back. Do not hold on to resentment. Do not carry the weight of another person's choices. Let them go. Let the past go. It was never yours to hold. The world will not stop for your pain, and neither should you. Pick yourself up, rebuild with precision, and step forward without hesitation. A man's strength is not measured by how much he can hold on to. It is measured by how well he can walk away from what no longer serves him. Accept reality. Embrace your future. Stand firm, and never break. If this message spoke to you, if you refuse to be a man who clings to illusion, if you are ready to sharpen your mind, master your emotions, and take control of your own destiny, then take the next step. Hit like to show that you choose strength over weakness. Subscribe to Ultimate Stoicism to arm yourself with the wisdom that will make you unshakable in the face of any challenge. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever faced a moment like this? How did you handle it? Drop a comment below and share your experience. Your words might be the wake-up call another man needs. Let's build a community of men who stand firm, see clearly, and refuse to be broken. Your journey begins now.